sitting here on an off day in the barbershop with one of my mentors, the legendary Mr. Johnny Crawford. And he just explained to me that next month he's going to turn 86 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that 86 years, he's been married 61 years. And he was just talking
66.
about 60. Oh, see, look at that, 66 years. Look, he about to whoop me. 66 years. But Miss Crawford, man, you were saying something about marriage. You know, what's the difference today than back then?
With marriage?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I believe that a lot of young people don't believe that you should get married. That they could just live together. God never intended for men and women to live that way. He intended for them to be united, joined together.
Mm.
And the Bible talks about when God joins two people together, the Bible says that no man should separate them if God joined you together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did with Adam and Eve. When you go back and look at the story of Adam and Eve, it says that the Bible says that the two shall become one. And me and my wife, you know, we function as one person.
Mm.
But you have to be able, here it is, to communicate to one another. And just talk about, share with your mate or your wife or your husband, share everything with them.
So would
communicate.
So would you say the success of 66 years is communication? The number one thing?
That's right.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. In the Bible, when we see the story of Adam and Eve, you know, God spoke to Adam. He also spoke to Eve.
Mm-hmm.
He also spoke to Satan, which was at that time a serpent. But you never see in the story where Adam and Eve it doesn't record it, where Adam and Eve communicated with each other.
Mm.
And that's what we should learn from that story.
So they didn't communicate, and that's why things went the way they went.
That's right.
Okay.
They didn't talk about it.
Okay.
They didn't communicate. And that's what I got from the story of Adam and Eve.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, 66 years, Mr. Crawford, that's a long time.
Exactly.
That's a long time.
That's right.
Do you remember y'all first date?
Yeah.
Who you take?
I can't remember where I took her. I think I took her to the prom.
Okay.
That was like our first date.
Okay.
I took her to the prom. See, I had a friend who wanted to talk to my wife.
Okay.
And I was trying to set him up.
And set yourself up.
And I ended up setting myself up.
Okay.
Because, see, I had known her because my mother and her mother, they were like friends.
Okay.
We used to live next door to one another.
Okay.
But her grandmother was the one that raised her. And she lived like a distance like Fort Worth and Dallas. And she lived over there with the grandmother because her father at that time was in the service and they was traveling.
Okay.
And so she left, her mother left her with the grandmother, and really and truly, her grandmother raised her.
Okay.
And I think that was a benefit to me because she had those kind of, I guess what you call old-fashioned ways, and like she cooks, like she cook every day for me now, and so I cook my own breakfast, but and then she bakes. She bake, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She bakes and
yeah, she be throwing
yeah,
down some cakes.
That's right. She can, and she wash, and she's a housewife. That's what she does now. And that's what the older women, old-fashioned women, used to do. They used to just stay at home. They didn't work, but they took care of their husbands. And that's what she does with me all the time.
So, Ms. Crawford, have you ever done anything else besides cut hair?
When I moved to Dallas in 1960, I met Mr. Graham.
Okay.
And Mr. Graham, when I first started cutting hair, I cut hair for him for 7 years.
Okay.
And then I went out on my own. But Mr. Graham, he taught barbers to be barbers and full-time barbers.
Okay.
And that's what he pushed, and that's what he expected barbers to do, to make a living, and I did that. Now, I used to do little part-time things, work, when I first got started, but I knew that I would build my clientele to the point to where I could just make it from cutting hair.
Okay. You know, because now a lot of barbers, they think barbering is more secondary than primary.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to those young barbers that's just starting out, or the ones who maybe in 5 years who want to put a job before barbering? I mean, what advice would you give them to kind of like help them make the main thing the main thing?
Yeah, if they put their minds to it, they would. Here's one thing I use for people who really want to be a professional as far as cutting hair is concerned. I tell them to use the golden rule. The golden rule is that you treat your clients the same way that you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And that principle, when you apply it and put it to good use, people are hungry for respect. That's what men want more than anything else. They want respect. And if you're willing to respect them, they will be your clients for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. They will stay with you. And that's what you want. You want return clientele.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but it's that principle that you must learn to apply. One other thing that Mr. Graham taught me and taught his other barbers, and that is, you don't understand how valuable this is, and that is, once you have a client and they become ill or sick or in the hospital, go and cut their hair free of charge.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And not charge them. And that goes, I mean, they'll never forget it.
Right.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy last week. He's a undertaker out of St. Louis, and we were just talking about the last haircut, And I said, well, what is the going price for it? Well, he's like, normally the family would set that up, but over the past, 5-6 years, when my customer leave here, how dare them try to pay me anything for a haircut?
Yeah.
Because I owe that to that customer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he said one barber was like ready to fight him, like she want her money.
Yeah.
She want her money, and it's like, man, you really, I guess, really didn't care about this person.
Yeah.
And when we look, when I look at 86, 85 going on 86, if you can just sum it up, all the things you've achieved in that time, what is the most important thing?
For me?
For you?
To honor God, to be, steadfast, immovable, always abound in the work of the Lord, knowing that your deeds or your chores, your toil is not in vain in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So always be willing to be a servant for the Lord. And that's been, that's been the principle that I've used, and I attribute that to my success.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I hear people, on the grind. I gotta get this money. I gotta get this house. I gotta get this car. I gotta get this. I gotta get that. And they all the time trying to get.
Yeah.
And I realize when it's all done, everything they went to go get don't go.
That's right. Yeah, because what God would do, since He made everything, the world, it created everything in the world, and not only that, everything is in it. What He would do, what God would do, since He has full control of everything, He'll put holes in your pocket. Yeah, and you won't be able to accomplish anything. Yeah. So over the years I've learned, put it this way, to put Him first.
Yes.
Yeah. And you like I said, by being steadfast, your toil will not be in vain. Your giving will not be in vain. And that's why I don't allow people my clients, when they get sick, I don't allow them to pay me.
Right.
I go in and sometimes they be sick over a period of years sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't charge them.
Well, Miss Crawford, you ain't doing it now for the money, no way.
Well, not really.
No, hey, you doing it to have something to do for some good conversation.
Well, yeah, that's good too. I enjoy that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I enjoy that.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, that is what I would the secret of I believe my success. And the other thing too is I was able to contribute, to give in the process of making Henry Miller Morgan, a landmark. And
is that's the school?
Yeah.
Okay, in Tyler.
Yeah, in Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I worked on. I was the one that filled out the application, and me and another lady down in Tyler, Linda,
Mm-hmm.
Linda Adams. We worked together on this committee, to get the landmark for the first African American Barber College in the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Whenever you go down there, you need to, if you go through Tyler, close to Tyler, stop by. It's in the African American Museum.
Okay.
In fact, they gave me an award. You can see the address
Okay.
right there.
Okay. I definitely check it out. Well, you've been busy. You did the same thing with Mr. Johnny Graham.
That's right. Sure did.
Yeah.
So that was an honor. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you one thing that when I think about this world we live in and the things that matter, the work we do doesn't necessarily matter to us. It means a lot to the people that's behind us.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. And it means a lot to the people that we giving the service to.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Graham taught us this. He said, when I started back in 1960, he said that the black man has never been called or addressed as Mr. So what I need for you all to do is when they come into the shop, take the hat and take their coat and hang it up on the hat rack and coat rack. Treat him like a man, because he's been called either boy or uncle all day long.
Right.
Now you are showing him, here's the word again, respect.
Show them their respect.
Yeah.
Show them their respect. And it's the little things that that means so much. The little thing,
That's
like
right.
Miss Crawford just said, they come in, they got on a jacket. You don't want them sitting in the chair with their jacket on because they're gonna be uncomfortable. So you take their jacket off, hang it up, or lay it on the side of the chair. When they get up, you blow them off, dust them off, put their jacket on, shake their hand, tell them thank you for coming. And those are the small nuggets that create everlasting loyal clientele.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what's up, Miss Crawford, man. It's always good talking to you because it's just this is what the barbershop is missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's so many shops out there who don't show that respect.
That's right.
To where our elders just don't even go nowhere near the shops. They're at home really ungroomed. They're afraid to be in those environments.
They want respect, but they are not willing
to give it.
To give it.
Yeah.
And see, we're the ones who need to give it. And especially, you remember the golden rule: treat others the same way you want to be treated.
Treat others the same way.
So they want it, but they're not willing
to give it.
To give it.
All right. Well, that's your nugget for the day. It's simple. It's been written down. You've heard it 1,000 times. The number one golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated. We sit here today with Mr. Johnny Crawford, getting ready to celebrate 86 years around the sun,
and
man.
66 years of marriage.
And 66. And how many years cutting hair? See, because 60 and 60 is 64 years. 64 years.
Cutting hair.
Cutting hair. Man, you see it right here in front of you, man. Ms. Crawford, thank you for just everything. Just, talking to me, the mentorship, helping me out with my product line, just all of those different things.
Yeah.
And it's the unity in the community that brings us together and helps us succeed as a whole.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We're up out of here. Peace. I'll get a picture with you in the chair.